Justin, let's start off, man. Let's start off just kind of simple, big man. Let's talk about how you're feeling right now. You're only less than a week from fight night. You're the big name, one of the big names on the card. It's a nationally televised fight. How are you feeling right now heading into the fight, man?
I'm just excited, man. I'm wishing it was here right now. You know, I'm anxious, waiting for it. So I'm just ready to get it on.
Tell me a little bit about what's been the extent of the training. Kind of give me a little bit about what's been the razor sharp focus for yourself in the last few months leading up to this fight.
We've been focusing on just fundamentals. You know, just doing the things right, fundamentals. That's been a main part of focus. You know, and also conditioning, which is always important. But the main thing we've been focusing on is fundamentals, and that's a big part of boxing, man. You could win off just fundamentals.
It took a little bit about your style of boxing. What is your strength? What are you known for maybe the folks that haven't had the opportunity to see you on TV or see you in person fight? For those folks going to the fight on Tuesday are going to be watching it on Tuesday. What can they expect to see out of you? What's Triple J about in
the ring? Well, I think when describing myself, my style is very adaptive. You know, I do what I need to do. You know, I think my best punch is actually the punch that lands. So whatever open, I'm able to adapt to get to find the open shot, or I'm able to change styles. If I need to brawl, I can brawl. If I need to move, I can move. If I need to just jab, I could jab. I could do a lot of different things in there. I think playing all the different sports over the years, I'm just real athletic, so I can do a lot of things. And I think that's my strength. A real big strength of mine is my foot movement. I got real good foot movement for a heavyweight. I got power in either hand. I'm ambidextrous, so that's definitely a benefit to me. So I think I was just bred for boxing. I think it's my calling.
But let's talk a little bit about that. Let's go back, go back. I know you were a huge star at St. Martinville High. I know you played for Coach Carroll there. I know you were a two-way player in the football field, I think tight end and linebacker, if I remember right. Kind of walk me back through it. Tell me a little bit about what it was like playing football. Because I remember talking to some people. You had some aspirations to play college ball, right?
Yeah, I did play college ball, and I just can't speak enough good things about playing high school football, man. It really shaped me and prepared me for what I'm doing now. It was a great experience. It put discipline in me. It made me tough. You know, I think football is one of the toughest sports out there. You know, physical toughness, and you got to endure a lot of stuff when you're in the boxing ring. And I think that kind of like paved the way for me. Just overall, my skills, they all stem back to football, man. And so it was a great experience for me, a great learning experience and preparing experience.
Besides football, what else did you play back in high school, Justin?
I ran track. We actually went to state and track, man. We had a great track team, man. And that's all I did. I wanted to play basketball, but you know, I cut it short. I was too busy with football and track, you know. So them was my two sports that I played.
You were on the relay team in track,
yeah.
or
relay team.
The 4x1 or the 4x2?
4x2. 4x2, I think it was. It's hard to remember, and that's unusual for a linebacker to be on the relay team.
Yeah, it is, especially a guy is as big and stout as yourself. Well, walk me through it. You know, obviously, you learned a lot there, growing up in the St. Martinville area, playing football, running track. Where'd you go play your college ball at?
TSU, Texas Southern.
Southern.
Yeah. Well, I started off at Southern, then I transferred to Texas Southern.
So you started off in Baton Rouge at Southern University, and then you transferred to Texas Southern?
Mm-hmm.
And you graduated from Texas Southern?
No, I actually didn't.
How many years did you play at Texas Southern?
One.
Mm-hmm. What about Southern? Same thing? Or two?
No, I actually I didn't really play at Southern.
But you signed with them coming out of school?
No, I didn't sign with them. I did get a scholarship at TSU.
Okay. So what happened with football, man? I mean, it's obviously you found your calling, what you're supposed to be doing, and that's in the fight game. So what happened with football? Obviously, you were a talented player. Did you just were you just like, hey, this is not what I really want to do?
No, well, actually, one of my strength and conditioning coach was a boxer there. He used to be a professional boxer, and so he was kind of training me in and out. And I had a injury. We had our coach there liked to run us, man. He ran us a lot, like we were a track team. And at that time, I had gotten heavier, and we was running on a lot of concrete. We was just running, and I ended up with shin splints, man. And
oh wow!
And I kept running on them, you know. I kept running. That they told me the doctor was like, man, it's just a little pain, keep running. And I actually kept running to where I actually had some small fractures in my leg.
Oh,
you know, so that's what happens if you keep running on shin splints.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any better, so I had to take some time off, and I just kind of was going back and forth, and I just put a lot into boxing, and I was a lot better boxer than I was football player.
And who was the strength and conditioning coach? You remember his name there at Texas Southern?
Yeah, it was Ricky Jackson.
Did you fall in love with boxing right off the bat, man?
Man, yes, I was in love with boxing even before boxing. I mean, growing up at St. Martinville, I used to always get in fights, man. I used to stay fighting. I think it just was a part of me. Even before that, since when I was a kid, I would always fight. They used to call me Tank. I used to fight so much, and I just think it's a part of my character, being a fighter.
So when did you, after everything with Texas Southern, when did you really get invested and start being like, okay, the fight game, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a top flight boxer, and I'm going to learn everything that I need to learn. When did that process start, Justin?
When I turned pro in 2007, I had a small amateur career, and I think I had maybe 19 fights, and I got most of them in 1 year. It was hard for me to get fights, so I entered a tournament, you know, and that's where I got all my fights. I made it to the nationals in a tournament. I won a national tournament. And you know, after that, it was so hard to get fights. I was just ready to turn pro. I didn't want to go through the amateur career where I couldn't get fights only except for the tournament. So I decided to turn pro. And so that's when I started learning, man, in 2007. And I was learning through fights. I didn't know all that much, but I was learning through my pro fights, like on the job training. And then and my career went on like that. I did have a break in it. I had some promotional issues. So I took like 3 years off, man. And now I forgot with Kerry Daigle, man, one of the best moves I ever made, and my coach Termite. And now we getting back to where we were when I took off, you know. And we there.
What'd you do? What'd you do in between? What kind of jobs did you do in between after college football and before 2007? What were you doing?
I mean, all kind of things. Security guard. I worked in clubs, strip clubs. I did plumbing. My dad taught me plumbing, so I did plumbing jobs. Just kind of various things, but mostly I worked in the club. It was good money, good tax-free money.
And were you, and then you saw, 2007, it's, I know talking to fighters in the past, a lot of them are coming from, doing odd jobs or just doing doing jobs to help pay the bills. And then there's that time where they have to be like, okay, I can't have all those other distractions. I got to do this. I got to focus on this. I got to train. I got to live in the gym. I got to train and fight. And that's all I can do. When did the fight game really take over? Was it 2007?
Nah, I struggled. It really came together when I got with my agent now, my agent and manager, Kerry Dago. He put a team around me that they just taking good care of me, and it enables me to train full time. I got Dr. Campbell. He's one of my co-managers, and he came in, and Kerry brought him in, and they just been doing an excellent job, man, with the people they putting around me, with nutritional people. Man, I'm telling you, this is a grade A team they have around me, and it's just bringing the best out of me.
So you feel like now, I mean, look, you got an excellent record, undefeated, you're a guy that's never lost in the ring, but now do you feel like you got the guys around you, the trainer, you got a well-respected guy who was a title contender in his own right in Termite, you got Kerry who's well-respected and, across multiple states for what he does. So you feel right now like you got the team around you is what you're saying to help you succeed and get to that next level?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody does it by themselves, man. I know I fight by myself, but it's a whole group of people that's involved in this and that's helping pull the strings and put everything in order. And I got to commend them, man. And I feel the best I ever felt, man. And I feel the most confident I ever felt, You don't know what it does to an athlete when all he got to worry about is training. It puts everything into focus. You ain't got to worry about a lot of things. They take a huge burden off of me, and when I need help with something, I come to them and they take care of it. And that's you can't ask for more as a fighter.
That 3 years off that you had to take off before you got with Termite and before you got with Mr. Kerry, what did you do then, man? Did you just go back to working security in the club?
Clubs, man. Clubs, man, I was like 270 pounds, man. I had to come down, man. I had to come down. Yeah.
And were you living in Houston already at that time, man?
Yeah. I didn't go back to St. Martinville. It just wasn't that much. It wasn't that much to do.
It's not. Yeah, opportunities are few and far between back in the hometown.
I probably would have been 300 pounds. I went back, man, because I left food out there.
Let me, Justin, let me ask Termite a few questions here, if you don't mind.
All right, go ahead.
Termite, tell me a little bit about when you first saw Justin. Obviously, he had, he'd been out of the fight game. He even admitted he missed right there where he gained a little bit weight. But what did you see out of him that you thought, hey, this is a guy, this is a young man that I can work with and that I can develop? What was it that you saw in him?
Well, it's kind of twofold. I had met Justin prior to the time that he took off. And so I knew some of the things he was going through. And I actually supported him, even though I just knew him. We were acquaintance friends. But I supported him because I knew what was going on behind the scenes. The telltale for me was when Kerry Daigle called. Kerry and I have been friends for a long time. And quite frankly, if you come to my gym right now, you'll notice I don't have any other professionals. All right, don't want any. I got one kid that Kerry and I are picked that's undefeated as an amateur that we're going to be turning pro very soon. But other than that, I've stayed away from pros because they're a pain in the butt, all right, in many cases. And when Kerry came to me, It wasn't even a question. I mean, all he had to do is, you know, it was as simple as, Termite, I need you on this. And I said, okay, because again, Kerry and I's relationship was just that way. If he came to me, I knew it was something good. We started working together. And then, of course, Justin sold himself to me in his kindness. That's very important to me. I don't want any cocky guys around. I don't want to be around that kind of stuff. I surround myself with the right people and the right fighters. And then his willingness to pay the price, his willingness to be at the gym every day. And of course, it just grew on me. And of course, if you know Justin, you love him. And you know, when we see each other, we hug each other. It's every single day. And that's the kind of relationship that we have. And we go to church together. We serve God together. We work. Yesterday, we were working with kids that were from being bullied at school. We were doing that yesterday in the gym. So, you know, boxing's a major factor, of course.
Right.
It's bigger than boxing, much bigger. Our friendship is.
You know, with your background, you're the youngest, I want to say you're the youngest Golden Glove champion at 16, or the first 16-year-old to ever become a Golden Glove champion. You have a terrific amateur career, welterweight contender. You're on, of course, the undercard for Ali and Holmes in 80. With all of your experience, and then, of course, the training that you did for the Olympic hopefuls there in Iraq for the Athens Games, you know, you have all this experience. For you, dealing with someone like Justin, have you found it to be him being kind of a sponge? Because, look, you've been through the ringer. You came up through the amateur ranks. You were in the pro ranks. As anyone that kind of knows your story, you kind of had a little bit of a downfall yourself, got right with God.
Yeah.
So do you find it to be a situation where this is someone that you can kind of teach all your life lessons that you learned yourself throughout your entire career in your own personal life? Have you found that with Justin?
I do. You know, I love it that he is like a sponge. He'll sit there for hours if I let him and just talk and soak up things. And of course, as a trainer, as a friend, as a mentor, I love that. Matter of fact, if it wasn't that way, we wouldn't be together. I'm in a position that I pick and choose who I want to work with. And I choose him, of course, because he is like that sponge. He listens very closely, and we have a deep relationship. I told you we serve God together.
Right.
We also, you know, Justin's had some things happen just recently in his life that's been tough, and he come to me, you know, because I'm here, and that's what, in my opinion, friends do, but that's what good coaches do. You got to know your people and know each other. And we have that kind of relationship.
Justin, back to you. You know, I know talking to some folks, you know, some of the things that have happened to you, you lost a loved one. Is that correct?
Yeah, my father passed recently.
When did that happen?
The day before Father's Day.
Oh, wow. As someone who's lost their pops, I know it's something that kind of sticks with you, whatnot. What was that like when you found out that your dad had passed, Justin?
Man, it was horrible, man. It was horrible. I was actually driving when I found out. I thank God I didn't wreck the car, man. I was actually coming from a sermon that T.D. Jakes had came down here, and I wanted to see him. And I went in there, and he was speaking on how, you know, God's gonna take people out of your life. And right after that sermon, man, I called my dad to tell him about it, because it was a good sermon. And he didn't answer because he was super loud, and he would usually call back. But somebody had his phone and they was calling back. I thought it was him, actually, man. And it was my uncle telling me that he was gone, man. And it was very painful because, you know, I was going to see him the next day. You know, I hadn't seen him in a while. It was very hard, man, because we had planned to see him. We were just arguing, me and my sister, about what we was gonna bring him for Father's Day, man. So that it was a really painful situation, man, to especially on Father's Day, on the day before Father's Day. I can't describe how it made me feel, man. And until this day, I still just, you know, I'm a big guy, but I cry about that, man. Still, when I think about it, man, about things I didn't get to say, things I didn't, you know, get to talk to my father about. It's gonna be a hole there. It's gonna be a hole there, and it's just painful. I don't even like talking about it, man. I ain't gotta. I'm getting through it, but I ain't got a hold of it yet.
What was your pop a big fan of you being a fighter, a big supporter? Was he looking forward to you?
Oh man, he was very proud of what I was doing, man. And you know, he was a fighter too, not a fighter in the way that I'm a fighter as a professional, but he was a street fighter, you know. So he used to say, "Yeah, you got it all for me. I used to fight all the time, man." He just loved what I do. And whenever he can come to the gym, he would come. I would try to keep him away, you know. Because he would put strain on him sometimes to come. But I remember when he first got sick, he couldn't barely stand up before he was in a wheelchair. He used to come watch me train, and I was struggling. I remember him getting up, and he was struggling his dang self and pushing me to work harder, you know. And that's one of the memories I have of him helping me while he was struggling, you know. And that's just what kind of father he was.
He still, even when he was battling it himself, he still was there to kind of push you and to support you and to love you. Yeah, I like that. What was your pop's name, Justin?
Michael Jones.
And he lived back here. He lived in St. Martinville.
He was in Houston. He was in Houston. Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about the bond that you kind of have with Mr. Watkins, Termite. You know, he even admitted, he says he's not big about taking on pro fighters. You know, he likes working with the amateurs, but there was something about you, and he just connected with you guys, just kind of connected, and you guys have really developed a friendship. Talk a little bit about what you've been able to learn working with him, not only him as your trainer, but the friendship that you guys have developed over the last few years.
Well, first of all, based on the friendship, a lot of things that I've been going through, he's been through. And when you have somebody that's been through and made it through the things that you're facing, you know what I mean? It's always a good relationship because they're able to guide you through those problems and guide you through that hard time and those ups and downs. So on that part, man, it's been amazing, you know. It's been amazing. He really helped me. He really helped me with some things with my marriage and some things, you know, with my dad, you know, because it happened to him before, and he's just able to give advice. And it's a lot easier for somebody to come from you if they've been through what you've been through. You know what I mean? They really know how you feel, so to speak. And on the boxing tip, man, it's you know, Termite Watkins had a lot of fights, man. A lot of fights. He has a lot of experience, and that stuff transfers over to me. You know, a lot of small things he helped me with. I remember coming to him, I was throwing bombs every punch. You know, bombs, just trying to overwhelm guys, and he really settled me down and taught me how to box and outsmart people. And that's one of the biggest things he's taught me. And it helps me set up bigger punches, you know. It helps me hurt people more. When he's taught you
how to he's helped you transform yourself from a fighter to a boxer.
Yeah. And helped me use all my skills, you know. When he fought on angles and turning and he was just so smooth, man. And he's teaching me all them things that he done. And it's gonna be. I already know it's beneficial. You guys gonna see it on the 18th. But I can't speak enough about the things that he's taught me as a fighter. I mean, you can't get that kind of experience, you know,
right.
from most trainers.
Termite, tell me. I'll just ask you pretty just straightforward. Obviously, seeing some videos and talking to some folks, Justin has what it takes. Yet his profile is still, people don't necessarily really know him. So what's going on there? Is it, you know, obviously you guys got a great opportunity for him to have, you know, big televised fight and people get to know actually who he is and what he can do. Tell me a little bit about, is it just simply Justin's on the cusp of becoming more of a household name? Well, what's the process there?
Well, you know, if you were to, if I was to ask the average person right now, tell me somebody that's in the top 10 of the world in the heavyweight division, most of them couldn't do it. All right. And so until they get that big break, until they get that televised break, and that's what we're looking for. You know, we want a TV fight like we got right now, and we want to look good. We want to win and do it well. And, you know, that can change literally overnight. Just boom, just like that. And we look for opportunity. And then, of course, we all have a position. I know what my position is on this team. Justin knows his position. And then as Kerry Daigle's, we know what his position is. And Kerry is that one that when that opportunity comes, we will just
pounce on it.
We'll pound on it. And so, you know, we just take one step at a time. We're not worried about any other fights. We're not worried about anything. We know that if we win this one, then we're one step away. We'll win that one, and then we're one step away. And we keep winning. All the notoriety, all of that'll come.
When you've been training with Justin, you know, he even admitted when I brought it up that you've helped turn him from a fighter to a boxer.
Yes, sir.
He said when you guys first got together, he just wanted to come in and throw bombs right off the bat and just kind of, you know, and I see you smiling now. That's, you know, that classic thing of I just want to knock someone out and then they tire themselves out, you know, and not be able to kind of go the distance. So what were some of the things that you saw? Obviously you saw the potential, but what are some of the things that you've been kind of working to kind of develop and make Justin even better at? Is it, you know, turning him into a full all-around boxer, so to speak?
Well, the name of the game is boxing. It's not slugging. And so what we've done is I've just showed him a different way. You know, he was winning. He was successful. He's doing good. But I'm just kind of rounding him off and making him a well-rounded fighter, because not everybody can go in there and pound. And
right.
So when we need to pound, we will. When we need to box, we will. And just trying to make him a well-rounded fighter. And one of the things that I think has been the biggest breakthrough to him is knowing that he doesn't have to go in there and just try to rip somebody's head off. It was so funny, I won't name any names, that we're boxing a guy that's about 6'6", about 270 pounds. And when they first started, it was a slugfest. Mm-hmm. And just last week, I told him, I said, Justin, you're going to stay in the ring today until they don't want any more. And this guy's good. Now, this guy's 6'6", 270 pounds. I said, you're going to stay in there until this guy didn't want any more. Right. And after about the sixth round of Justin just doing little sharp punches, then boom, the big one, boom, 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 and the turning and the pivoting. And all of a sudden, the sixth round, coming out for the seventh round, they said, we don't want no more. We said, well, we need a little bit more. No, we're not. We're not doing it. And so, you know, Justin, I try to set him up for success. Right. And by doing that, what I mean is that I let him do the work. He did it. Not me. I just get him a different way. And it's just making him a well-rounded boxer so that we can handle whatever type of situation comes.
I got you. What are you guys now? Kind of walk me through the preparation. Obviously, the fight's on Tuesday. From here, now it's Thursday morning. What are you guys going to be working on between now and then? What's the travel day going to be? Everything like that.
We're backing off. You know, at this point of the fight, if you're not in shape, you're not in shape. So we're there. We're ready. And so now we're kind of like a knife. We're just keeping that edge sharp. And we're doing it by not we're not sparring anymore. We're not. We're just keeping the edge on the sword right now. And what we do is I don't know if you can see my hands. Yeah, you can. But anyway, we work real hard, and as we work real hard, the energy level goes down. And then as we back off of that working hard, the energy level is coming back up. And as we're coming back up, our goal is to peak on the 18th and let all that energy be there. And so that's what we're doing. We're just being safe. We're just being smart. We're keeping the blade sharp right now.
Gotcha. We'll wrap it up here. A couple more questions. Mr. Carey, let me ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Why did you think, obviously you knew about Justin. Why did you think Termite and he were going to be a good fit?
Number one, Justin is a no-nonsense kind of guy. He's real serious about his craft. He's a very good family man. And I wanted to put him in that environment. But at the same time, I wanted to put him in an environment with a guy that's been there, done that. Listen, there's a lot of trainers in this world. There's a lot of them that are very good. But no one can be better than someone that's actually fought in the ring. And Termite's had a huge amount of success as not only an amateur, but a professional fighter. So he understood what it was like to be a fighter. I mean, he's fought on the biggest stages in the world. He retired with a record of, Termite, what was your record when you retired?
I had, as a pro, 65 fights. I had 58 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws with 48 knockouts.
Pretty impressive record.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And what was impressive about Termite as a trainer was that every time Termite would fight, we talk about his knockouts. And Termite would always say, yeah, but I really couldn't punch. I said, well, what happened to these 58 guys you knocked out? The key was that he knew how to set a strategy up and get in an angle to put them in a position where they never saw the shot coming.
Right.
And that's where Justin is now. Justin's a very dangerous heavyweight. So many times when we're trying to make fights, you hear a lot of people say, well, let's wait till he loses one before we take him on, because he doesn't know what it's like to lose. He's dangerous. So it's a little challenge to get him into a major fight. Now, recently he had a draw, and I thought that would help us having a draw, but it didn't help us at all. And that's a big challenge. So now we're gonna kind of take the Gennady Golovkin route when he's fighting Canelo coming up in the big fight. Gennady took a pay cut to be able to get a big fight.
Right.
And so we're gonna take a pay cut, not a big one, by the way, but we're gonna take a pay cut to get that fight and lure that guy in the ring. And then we're just gonna go in there and do what Justin does best, and that's annihilate these guys. And what they're gonna see in Triple J is that he's for real. These top 10 heavyweights that are out there, listen, they're all good fighters, but I don't see anyone that can beat Justin Jones. And we're going to go in there. I don't care who it is. Give us a name. Make the fight. Let's go. We're ready for it. So we're looking to fight for a championship within probably an NABO, a title, a French title that puts you in the top 10 in the world, and win that championship and then go chase these guys down. And we're going to be going to the fights. We're going to be watching these guys fight. We're going to be talking to them, and we're getting after it. We're looking for anybody who wants to step up to the plate and say, okay, I'm ready to fight Triple J. So we're going to push the envelope more than we've ever pushed it. But it was preparing Justin too to get there. And mentally he's there. Physical gifts are there. Physical is not a problem. Conditioning is not a problem. Gifted as far as skill is not a problem. The number one skill you have to work on is mental fitness. And this guy mentally is fit right now to be able to go in there and not just win, but destroy his opposition. And we're ready to go after him. And I've got the best guy that can mentally get him prepared, not just physically, but get him physically and get him mentally prepared is Termite Watkins, because he's been there, done that. And he's got the right demeanor. Everybody in the world knows Termite. They know his background. They know his history. And they know that he's a guy that if he came out to train someone, it's someone that can fight. And here we got him. This guy's going to be a champion. Take a good look at him. Pay attention, because it's right around the corner. We're bringing a championship home.
Good. Justin, we'll wrap it up with you, big man, with just a couple of questions. How excited are you to, I know you've boxed in your home state before. How excited are you to have people in your hometown that are going to probably be coming up for the fight and everything like that? What's that like? Because people can only have to drive a couple hours to come see you live in person.
That's a wonderful feeling, man, and being that I'm feeling good, and like I told you, I got the best team around me. It's probably, I know it's gonna be one of my best performances, and it just feels good now that everything's in the right place. I can't describe how exciting I am to perform in front of all my friends and family. It's always a plus doing that, and it drives me forward. So I'm really happy about that.
And tell me a little bit about you're going by Triple J now, but obviously it's your nickname for a while was JAWBREAKER. So how do you want people to call you out, man? How do you want people to know you? You want them to know you as Triple J or?
Well, Triple J, listen, Triple J, Justin JAWBREAKER Jones, baby. That's who he is. He's still the Jawbreaker.
I love it. Justin, let's wrap it up with this, man. So obviously you're in a great place right now with your career and everything like that. Do you feel that after a couple of starts and stops and everything, do you feel you're right now, the sky's kind of the limit, that you're about to ascend, so to speak, with the team that you got around you, with the support that you have? You feel like you're on the cusp of making it big time? Man,
I know I am. All the things I've been in through my life, all the circumstances, they all led to this point. And now it's do or die. I'm right on the bridge, I'm on the diving board. I'm about to jump into the pool, and I'm about to cannonball that sucker, It's going down. So it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. That's the point I'm at. It's all or nothing. And I give them my all of this, and it's going to show.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's all right?
Hey, I just want to tell you as a coach to watch out for something. You ever seen a guy get hit so hard that his right leg goes up in the air? I just want to tell you, we're not going to tell you everything, but watch this guy's right leg. Well, we're going to hit him so hard that leg's going to come up, and just we're calling the shots right now. Just watch.
I love it. Now, if Termite and Justin, if I wanted to, are you guys going to be in Houston for the next few days, right? When are you guys traveling over to Louisiana?
I'm going to come over the day before, okay. And then we'll probably get Justin up there a couple of days before. We don't want to get him there too far in advance.
Well, the reason why I asked is because I wanted to see if I could reach out to a freelance photographer over there in Houston to maybe come and take some nice portrait shots of you guys at the
Okay.
gym, either maybe today or tomorrow. Is that possible?
Yes, sir, it is. Just, give them my number, have them call me. We'll make special arrangements to work with you guys and to help you.
Perfect. Mr. Termite, can you give me your number if you don't mind? 832-212-4274. Kerry, is that okay with you if we bring somebody in the gym?
No, absolutely.
All right.
I used to work in Beaumont, so I still have a lot of contacts over in Southeast Texas, and I used to use some freelancers back in the day in the Houston area. So I was going to call them today.
Sure.
And, see if they could just come by the gym for us and do me a solid and take some nice photos.
Yes, sir.
Of you two. So.
Well, the reason I asked Kerry is that we put a stop to people coming in the gym, but we will do this for you. We've just put a stop that yesterday I let some kids come in there because we're real big about giving back. And Justin got to talk to about 8 or 10 kids yesterday. And it was just the kids and him. And so we're at this point of the game, we're very cautious and very thankful of who we let in the gym. But sure, come on, bring it on.
Let me explain to you one of the reasons he asked that question too. If you go on YouTube, you're going to see a lot of videos of Justin working out. Every video that was on YouTube of him in a complete fight is not on YouTube anymore. So they don't know what the heck to expect. That bell rings, they don't know who's showing up. They don't know who's there. You know, there's a couple of clips of him knocking a couple of guys out, but that's about all you're going to see.
Right.
So we've kept him as away from people that scouting. They can't scout him. They go to the gym. They're not allowed in the gym unless Termite doesn't know them. They don't come in.
That's right.
So nobody comes into scouting. That's not being done. And that's why people are a little hesitant when you say his name. They say, well, the negotiation stalls for a little while, but that's over with. We're chasing them down now. It's not anymore negotiating. We go and get them. And this fight is an important fight. This is a fight where Justin's we have all the brass, everybody that's anybody in the sport of professional boxing is going to be at this show. And they're going to be watching this guy fight. On the undercard, also fighting is the former heavyweight champion of the world, Prince Charles Martin.
Right.
That you're going to walk into a show and you're going to see two heavyweights on the undercard. One a former heavyweight champion of the world, and the other one an undefeated heavyweight on the undercard. And you're going to see that. That's a remarkable show. Both of these guys can carry themselves in a main event fight on national TV without any question. This is the biggest show ever to hit the South. And it's going to be right there in Alexandria, Louisiana. Ticketmaster.com, Rapides Parish Coliseum. Get your tickets because it's going to be hot.
Perfect. Mr. Kerry, the last question for you. The press credentials that I applied for, am I going to pick them up there at the Coliseum today?
Yeah, whenever you come, you just call and I'll have them for you.
Perfect. Well, guys, that's all I needed. Justin, I just wanted to say thanks for taking the time out to talk to me, and best of luck to you, man. We'll be rooting for you, and I'll be there watching you on fight night.
All right, man. Good deal.
Thanks again, man. Best of luck.
Hey, we'll see you.